YouTube, what's going on? I want to talk about two things really quickly. A lot of people ask about two-strand starter locks, and then others ask about interlocking. Well, I got a young lady right here who did both, and it doesn't look bad. She started out with a two-strand twist method, which you can see here. And whoever did the two-strand has to have itty-bitty fingers because these are so like even and small. These my big old fingers can't do nothing. Look at that. That would have swallowed up that hair. Bless her heart. But they also did the interlocking method on the roots, in which you can kind of tell a little bit due to this camera that she did the interlocking. But what I like about this interlocking is that it's even, it is congruent. You can see the line parts here where the person went through the head and carefully did what they were going to do. After that, it's not too tight to where if I lift up the hair, she's not uncomfortable. And this is only week 3, so if she's had this much new growth, either her hair has grown a lot, and that person just did it really tight. But I don't see any breakage. I don't see any white bulbs. I don't see any hair loss or anything at this point right here. I'm sure this is hair going back from something she could have had a long time ago. What process were you doing before you started locking? Like, were you sewing in, or were you braids, or what were you doing? Okay, so it could be. You think it broke off a little bit from braids right here in this front area?
Yeah, it's always kind of thin over there.
It's always been kind of thin?
Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. See that she got some little bitties growing back, and she got able to start a lock right here. That person even interlocked this, and I think they did an awesome job. What tool did they use?
Some kind of like crochet needle thing.
She used a long crochet needle?
I'm not really sure about the tool.
Oh, she's talented, whatever she did. I'm proud of her. I'm glad she exists. Doing her thing. That's awesome. But these are for people that do the two-strand twist method. One thing I will tell you is that in the end of this, as time goes on, this two-strand twist pattern is going to stay down here at the bottom. It can look a little cool. You'll have ridges in part of your locks, and then you won't have ridges in other parts. But that's just one of the things. We're starting with two-strand twist. Again, it's not a bad thing. It's just associating the balance with it. You can also keep those ridges going by interlocking and doing a certain twist pattern, which I think is really cool. But it's for those that actually want those little ridges in the entire lock. That's something different and something unique that your individuality would allow you to pursue if you wanted to at the time. But with interlocking, this is an 8 to 10 week process. You don't need to get it touched up too much after that. Make sure that the person is balanced out with how tight they're making these, and you're not just going to let them pull your scalp and make really hard buds come out of the scalp just by pulling the hair. So be mindful of that. I wanted to show you this. Her hair looks really good. I'm really proud of her and happy to see that somebody's out there making it happen on a decent level. So just wanted to show you this really quickly for those that are starting with the two-strand. It's not a bad thing to do. You will come out on top. You will come out okay. Just understand that you will have ridges in the end of that lock. And that's all. Choppy ran at the room because I told her I was going to talk about it, but she will be back. I got another client in the hallway. You see him? Trying to let me know it's his turn. But we'll talk about him in just a second because he has really thin locks, and it could be popping, breaking, and all that other stuff. So we're going to retouch on that really quickly, so give me a second. Alright, and here is my boy here. He has 1,000,000 locks. Now, the thing about his locks is, you see these parts, they're very small, and you have to be very careful with these. With these locks, I only palm rolled them once, giving them one strong rotation, and that was enough. That's all he needed, straight across the board. You don't see that where I twisted too tight, even in the middle, to where the locks had crinkles or rope waves in them, to where I did it too tight to where it has to rope back into itself. None of that. It's not needed. It's not necessary. You have to be careful with these locks, or they will fall out like day 3. This hair is very thin. These bases are very small. Look at that. So if you don't twist this the right way, you're not congruent and even with the maintenance on these locks, not even going on time on a good consistent basis of repetition, they will snap off. You will be bald headed, or you'll be putting a bunch of ponytails in here just so you can keep that bald spot going. I guarantee you. Ask Choppy. She know about it. With her no curtains having ass.
Is he gonna buy them?
That's right. All day long, no curtains. None.
Come over to your mansion and tell you how you need to cut one tree.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's me.
You know how to do it.
Anyway, back to the client. So, her no curtains. Anyway, So,
Hurt.
that's right.
Worry about lotion.
I don't need lotion. That's the new thing, to be black and white at the same time. Now, it's called mulatto.
It's called daylight.
That's right. Sexy, baby. Look at that hand. Work. Anyway. So, again, like I said, we twisted him, and I'm not going to be too rough with these, but we did put a little moisturizer. He got a good conditioner and everything, to where when he's outside, that hair blows in the wind, he get the herbal essence, ooh, ah feeling, and all of that. That's what's needed. That's what's up. You can see that they just moving, just easy, free, and he could do whatever, however, whenever. Wake up in the morning, shake them, and go. That's the idea of having a good, healthy head of locks, whether they are minute to size of your elbow. Whatever you want, whatever you can get. Check me out for more. Peace.